Hot dogs, get your hot dogs.
Hot dogs here, get your hot dogs.
Hot dogs, get your hot dogs.
Fresh hot dogs over here.
You are hired.
This is a hot dog is a sandwich.
Ketchup is a smoothie.
Yeah, I put ice in my cereal, so what?
That makes no sense.
Hot dog is a sandwich.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
Welcome to our podcast, A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, the show we break down the world's biggest food debates. I'm your host, Josh Scherer.
And I'm your host, Nicole Inaidi.
And today we have a very special guest joining us. He is the co-owner of Pink's Hot Dogs, an absolute Hollywood legend that has sold over 16 million hot dogs since they opened in 1939. Please welcome hot dog icon Richard Pink.
Woo!
Hi, Josh. Hi, Nicole.
Hey! I'm going to eat this.
Yeah,
You guys talk.
Thank you so much for coming. As you can all see, we have a plethora of hot dogs over here. And also, Richard, you and I have a fair amount of history now.
Yes.
At this point, we recorded a great podcast with Phil Rosenthal and David Wild, who had their own share
That's right.
of Pink stories. And then when we were coming out with the Mythical cookbook, available wherever you get cookbooks, still buy it, you were so gracious enough to have us put our own signature Mythical dog on the Pink's menu, which is... That's a huge deal. So many incredible celebrities have their own special hot dog on your menu.
And you do too. You deserve it. And it's a fabulous hot dog. Okay, it's a 9-inch stretch, all beef hot dog, topped with French fries, okay, and nacho cheese and bacon and ranch dressing, and to top it all off, jalapenos. It is the best.
It's a perfect hot dog.
Multiple layers of complexity, I have to say.
Thank you so much. That is an absolute honor. I was shocked the first bite that I took of it, but I did not expect it to be as good as it was. But you have the acidity from the jalapenos, that little bit of spice, the fatty, smoky bacon, the warm nacho cheese, the ranch to cool it all down, French fries to soak it all up. And so that made me wonder, you have so much experience in the hot dog business. I wonder what you think the single best way to top a hot dog is, because you have so many options at Pink's, and that's one of the things that I really, really love about your institution.
Well, we have over 40 varieties of hot dogs on our menu, so
Wow.
I'm constantly creating new flavor profiles, new ways to kind of tantalize customers to try something new. So what do I like the best? Personally, I'm mustard, onions, chili, and shredded cheddar cheese.
Which I just ate. And it
Yes.
was phenomenal.
Okay.
So good. I haven't had a chili dog in years. Wow.
I'm diving in. You two talk. I got to
go.
dive into this right now.
So you like something a little bit more classic.
I think it's the way to, introduce a hot dog to somebody where it's not a snack, but it's a meal, because it's got 4 different kinds of toppings. But we top things with guacamole, jalapenos, coleslaw, pastrami, bacon bits. I mean, there's so many different ways to top a hot dog, because it's like just this platform on which you can just build different layers of
Clear
taste.
slate, and you can do whatever you want. I remember you guys did something crazy for Lord of the Rings, and you put onion rings, and I thought, what kind of geniuses doing this stuff? And it's you guys.
The Lord of the Rings dog with a very yummy barbecue sauce is really good.
Sure.
But also, we created the chili cheese dog topped with 4 onion rings to represent the 4 championship rings that Shaq O'Neal won when he was a Laker. And Shaq did it, and he said, I love this dog. And we put it on the menu, the Shaq O'Neal dog with 4 onion rings.
There's so much thought that goes into what you guys do, which I really respect. Because, hot dogs, clean slate. But the way you guys just build on it is so magical. And I feel like you got the emphasis of mythical through a hot dog, which is hard to do, It's hard to pinpoint what mythical is, but being able to do that through hot dog is quite poetic, to be completely fair. But I also want to talk about what the best hot dogs regionally, what are they? And I personally, I love the what is it? It's from Rochester, New York, and it's the split. It's a white hot dog that's split and then seared really hard with chili and onions. What is that called?
Interesting. Wait, splitting hot dogs. I'm ethically opposed to splitting hot dogs.
Why?
How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't like to split hot dogs because our hot dog is natural casing. It snaps when you bite into it. We've had people that have put a camera over the hot dog when they're eating it to make sure that it truly does snap. So I don't like to split, but we get people that say, look, I want a grilled hot dog. We'll customize a hot dog any way you want, but the reality is I want that snap.
Yeah,
okay?
I agree with you entirely. To me,
I want the sear.
To me, the tube of the hot dog, the way it fits neatly into the bun, That's something that I love. Richard, your favorite hot dog is pretty dang close to my favorite hot dog of all time as well. Because to me, this is the absolute classic. And this, when I'm going to Pink's, this is actually my move when I go to Pink's, is I get one, this is the Brando dog, right?
Right.
I get one Brando dog, and then I get another hot dog on the side.
Yeah.
I'll get, the Giada with the mozzarella and the peppers and onions. But I always need the one anchor dog. Because to me, the crunchy onions, you get that kind of like greasiness of the chili that sort of soaks into the bun. It softens everything.
Right.
The salty cheese on top, and then the little bit of acidic kick from the mustard. To me, this is dang near the platonic ideal of a hot dog.
I also like relish on my hot dogs too, though. I like that acidity. I like when I went to Chicago, I think I had like 3 Chicago dogs. And I just love how complex it is and how sour it is. I never associate sourness with a hot dog, right? But a Chicago dog, it's like a salad. It's phenomenal.
That's
I
right.
personally like it that way.
Well, with the Giada dog, that's like a pizza on a bun.
Yeah, it
okay,
is.
so it's grilled vegetables topped with mozzarella cheese, but in terms of the coleslaw, in terms of relish, Martha Stewart was in line at Pink's, and she says, I've got to create my own hot dog here.
Of course she did.
And she did, and it has relish and onions and chopped tomatoes and sour cream and sauerkraut. So actually, we do a sweet relish, but the sauerkraut offers that acidity that you're talking about.
Sure.
And I can't believe it, but when we have like football players that show up at Pink's and these big, tall, strong, burly guys, I'll have 3 Martha Stewarts, please.
I love that.
Right.
That's so funny.
She would love that, too.
That's incredible.
Richard, what do you think about hot dog purists? Do you ever encounter other people, especially in the hot dog industry, who are like, the only thing you can top a hot dog with is kraut and mustard, and that's it?
Well, that's a New York purist, okay?
Okay.
That's our Carl Reiner dog, because if you're from New York, you're going to do mustard and kraut, or you're going to do basically a sweet and spicy New York onion, which is a Sabret's onion on it. So, look, I like a mustard and kraut dog like anybody else. I think it's perfect, the balance between the sort of unique taste of the sauerkraut, I guess somewhat sour,
Fermenty.
against the mustard that kind of has that bite to it, and then you top it off with a nice snap to the dog. It's perfect. It could be a baseball, dog. It could be a New York dog. But, we have people, Betty White, used to come to Pink's, and she says, I like my hot dogs naked.
No way.
We used to say Betty White gets naked at Pink's.
That's a great catchphrase.
She wanted nothing on it at all, and she would just hold it up and just eat it, and the way she would eat it would always be sort of interesting.
With a bun?
She was with the bun.
So, okay.
And so that was the Betty White, all pure dog, nothing on it at all.
Oh, that's incredible. There is something, I love the actual unique flavor of hot dogs. Nicole and I we're both Jewish, and so we grew up eating Hebrew national hot dogs.
Yes, our
There's
whole
a thing,
lives, yeah.
My grandma is also from South Africa, so she's like kind of half Britishy. And so I'd come home from school and she'd say, Josh, would you like some sausages? And I'd say, yeah. And she would throw 2 hot dogs in the microwave and then serve them on potatoes. And so I ate a lot of just naked hot dogs growing up.
Yeah.
And there is something genuine that I love about the unique spicing of a hot dog compared to any other
so
sausage.
delicious. Yeah, yeah.
And so that, just the simplicity, the purity set against like a, pillowy white bun, it's really nice.
No, it's totally nice. I remember since we grew up in like a Jewish neighborhood in LA, there was specific sausage places where you get like merguez, or even like, isn't it called boerewurst in South Africa? Boerewurst?
Boerewors.
Like they would have these really
It's the
cool
worst sausage in the world.
Really? I think it's okay. It's so dramatic.
I'm so sorry.
No, I like it. You don't like it? Why would you like it? What's
Have you
wrong
ever
with
had this South African sausage called boerewors?
Don't know it.
I have.
I got to try it.
Why'd you
is-
like it?
Because it is, by definition, has to be 90% lean. No, it has to be no less than 90% lean.
Got it.
And so it's this beef sausage, very coarsely ground, coriander, black pepper spicing.
Very coriander.
But it's so lean that it is just, it almost eats like a ground up hamburger inside of a case.
I mean, it's not as good as hot dogs, but it is good.
So you want some fat in the hot dog for taste.
It's super
100%.
emulsified,
Right.
yeah.
100%. And I grew up with parents in the low fat era too. So even when we go to
So
the
did
store,
I.
they get like the fat free hot dogs and
Disappointing.
they never taste quite right.
I've got to try that. I like to try all hot dogs.
You're
And
preaching to try
if it works, it goes on the menu. Try it.
Have you ever seen any hot dog experiments that have gone too far? Like, is there anything that doesn't work on a hot dog? Because I was a little bit worried about the French fries initially.
I think the French fries are great. The onion rings are great. You know, have you ever had Marmite?
Sure.
Okay, that doesn't work on a hot dog. We
found one.
Marmite doesn't work
Disappointing.
on anything, okay? That's for sure. Anything that is just sort of foul tasting, forget it. You know, I mean, it doesn't work. But I'm going to create maybe some French hot dogs, and I was thinking truffles, caramelized onions.
That's a great idea. Brie cheese.
Yeah, and brie cheese, and and a brioche bun. Because I love brioche bun, but it doesn't work with the chili because it just sort of dissolves the bun.
Makes sense.
You know, so our bun holds up to the chili. But at any rate, I've been thinking about French, something new and different.
That's a great idea.
You know, right.
I had a very unique hot dog in Paris once, and I did not realize that that was the thing, but it was really spectacular, and it wasn't called like a sandwich au saucisse. It was called un hot dog in Paris, and what they did is they took the baguette and they hollowed it out a little bit. They put a hot dog in, and they put like a really thick bechamel sauce, and then broiled it.
Oh, yum.
So it's like a croque monsieur, but a hot dog. And I think one that speaks to the power of the hot dog that,
great.
people around the world are putting their own spins on it. Is there a French celebrity that you have attached to your French hot dog? Or are you looking for one right now? Taking auditions?
No, I'm thinking about a French restaurant that would do a collaboration. That's where
I
I'm
know.
sort of going.
I think I know who you're thinking. Is it Ludo's restaurant?
No, but I like Ludo's.
I love
he's
Ludo.
phenomenal.
What's the other Le Petit Paris? Has
Le
a really,
Petit Paris.
Yeah.
Oui.
That'd be really,
c'est
really
vrai.
fun.
Do you think
Do I like a French? Charles and Aznavour dog. But I don't know how many people still remember him.
Wait, who is
Okay,
this?
sorry.
Charles Aznavour.
Oh my
I
God,
don't
he
know
was
who that is.
like
I'm
such
sorry.
a big singer. Okay, all right.
I don't know. I only know like French
Timothy
soccer players.
Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. He's almost
Yeah,
French.
that's
You
a
should get him in.
possibility. Yeah, we should do that.
Timothy Chalamet
Probably would
dog
love
with
that,
a truffle
right.
supplement of $50.
The Dune dog.
The Dune dog.
It's just a mouthful of sand. It's just sand on top of it, and that's it. Maybe like a blue liquid, and that's it. What has been your favorite celebrity interaction? I know it's tough to choose, but you are so dialed into the culture of Hollywood on every single level. And you're talking about making these hot dogs for Shaquille O'Neal to Gustavo Dudamel to us, which that is a heck of a
true.
triangle.
Well, yeah, and you deserve to be right there with them. Oh, God. I mean, we've got the Emerald Lagasse dog, which is just the BAM dog, Drew Barrymore hot dog, you know. We've got the Ozzy Osbourne dog.
Is it all like black metal? Is it
It's a
dipped in
bat.
black?
It was really funny. He was getting a star on the Walk of Fame, and Johnny Grant at the time, who was the honorary mayor of Hollywood, said, "Oh, and they have a hot dog named after you at Pink's," and we didn't. But he just
Why
made
do
it
they
up.
keep springing this up on you,
I know,
Richard?
and it's
What
like,
the heck?
what? And so we just created, something really spicy. So it's a spicy Polish dog. I mean, it turns your eyeballs to sprinklers. I mean, you immediately start crying when you're eating it. And, American cheese and nacho cheese and jalapenos and all that. And surprisingly, people order it, But, we're constantly thinking. Diane Warren, we just did a dog for. Charles Fox, the composer, we did a dog for. Who was at Pink's, and I wanted to create a hot dog for her, but she said, "I don't want you to do that."
Nicki Minaj.
No, it was Michelle Obama.
Oh my God.
Get outta
Oh my
here.
God.
Michelle Obama
Sweet
came
potato
in.
fries.
Yeah, and
She does, yeah.
she went through the whole menu, and it's really funny because I'm amazed that people can look at our menu and then create a hot dog. So
That was a unique
so
challenge.
smart that she looked and said, "I'll have the Polish dog," and then she just put various toppings on it, and it turned out to be a really good dog. And I said, "I'm going to call Michelle." She says, "No, I don't think you should do that. Politics and all that."
Sure.
But still, that was really cool.
That's
That's
so cool to have a
incredible.
first
Yeah.
lady come and like build their own hot dog.
I know. Build your own.
So cool.
Nicole, I want to ask you a question.
What's up, man?
As a chef, have you ever driven deep down into the hot dog rabbit hole and tried to create some very chefy out there hot dogs?
No, I think at my heart and soul, I think I'm a hot dog purist as well. But I will say the way that I heat up my hot dog might be a little bit controversial.
no.
I like to do a lot of slits in my hot dog. And I'm talking about basically like Freddy Kruegering it. Like I chop it up, I cut it in, and then I fry it on a nonstick frying pan with like 3 drops of oil, and I let it get super, super, super crispy. And then I put sauerkraut on it and ketchup, mustard, and relish. So I have never really.
Do you do this?
No, I don't do that.
You do this? I
Josh,
think this is a crime against hot dogs.
I don't do that. No, I don't do I don't spiralize my hot dogs. What I do is I just cut them a lot so they get a lot of slits so they can get really, really crispy. And that's what I do at home. But whenever it comes to like going out and getting a hot dog, I just like them. I like them boiled in water. I just like them simple and delicious, hot dog watery ones. But whenever I like cook at home, I mean, have I done like a Korean hot dog and put kimchi on it and made like a gochujang aioli? Sure, I've done that. Have I made like I don't know, like an Italian hot dog? Sure, I've done all these things. But I always find myself going back to the pure expression of hot doggy goodness, which is just simplicity. But I do know that my method of warming them up is a little bit controversial.
You know what we've tried at Pink's? We created a Bollywood dog, not a Hollywood, but a Bollywood dog with curry, right? It's the curryverse. You go to Berlin.
We love currywurst, yeah, of course.
But you guys are such gourmets. My parents started Pink's 1939. They like the hot dog, much like you probably. They did a hot dog at home, and they ran across an ad for a hot dog cart, and they were out of work, and they bought the hot dog cart for $50. They borrowed the cart for the $50 from my grandmother. And my mom went all the way down La Cienega, wheeled 2 miles up, found out the La Brea and Melrose was available for rent for $15 a month.
Wow.
Put the hot dog cart on La Brea and Melrose. There was no electricity there. They had to go out and buy a 100-yard extension cord in order to plug into a friendly neighbor's outlet to fire up that cart. That's how Pink's got started in 1939 with a love of hot dogs that they were doing at home, and that's all they knew about it.
What
Much
a
like
story.
what your description reminded me of that story.
$15 a month?
$15 a month. Hot
La
dogs.
Brea and Melrose?
Yeah, hot dogs were 10 cents. Cokes were a nickel.
Why wasn't I born back then? I could have done so much.
And in 1941, the landlord raised the rent to $25 a month, and they could not afford it.
So how did they manage to keep the business?
Because they went over to Bank of America. It was a branch right across the street. And the branch manager said, well, do you have any collateral? They said, we don't have any collateral. We have a good hot dog, and that's it. And he said, well, God, I don't want you to move. This is where I eat lunch every day. So he says, what do you need to buy the property? Well, this will really kill you, Nicole.
Oh, my gosh, I'm ready.
$4,000.
Oh.
What am I doing?
And that's the actual plot of land, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the land. That's incredible.
So they bought that property in 1941. They celebrated by putting a little awning over their hot dog cart. And the hot dog stand that you see today, the one that is open front to the sidewalk, was built in 1946.
How special.
That's incredible.
And now how many Pink stores are there in the U.S.?
There's 8.
Okay,
Well,
that's
actually,
brilliant.
I take that back. There's 6, and there's 2 in the Philippines. Because the Philippines love American hot dogs.
Yeah, they really do. That's incredible.
They put it on their spaghetti.
Oh, we love Filipino spaghetti.
Oh, big Filipino spaghetti
We're
fans.
big Filipino spaghetti
Do you know what the original toppings they had at Pink's in the 1940s were?
Mustard, onions, and chili. And the hot dog that we had then is the same recipe today, and the chili we had then is the same recipe. So you talk consistency. People, that are now grandfathers or great-grandfathers, they say it tastes the same. I can't believe it.
That's
so
When I was a
special.
kid 50, 60, 70 years ago.
That's so special.
When did the other toppings start to get added? Like, how many toppings have you added over the years?
Well, it was really pretty much when my wife and I got involved with Pink's. Okay, my parents wanted to keep things very simple, the mustard, the kraut, and like that, And then I got involved, and I said, Dad, you're putting bacon on your hot dogs. You're putting pastrami. He says, yeah, but I don't want to. I have to follow all the ordering and keep track of it and all of that. And so finally, when we got involved, I said, oh, my God, I want a hot dog stand that people go, wow, I can't believe how many hot dogs there are in this menu. And I wanted people to keep coming back. And sometimes I'll go to Pink's and someone will say, excuse me, are you Mr. Pink? Yes, I'm on number 32. And I said, well, we don't have a number 32. He says, no, I'm working my way through the menu.
Oh, my God.
And it's a woman, and she's working her way through.
That rocks.
And that's right.
Living my dream.
I know, right?
Am I not doing that?
She says, But the all-time record for the most hot dogs eaten at one sitting.
I think I know this one.
Okay, it's like Jeopardy.
Is it Oscar Wilde?
No,
It's
Orson Welles. That's what she meant.
You got that was close. Got
Oscar
it.
Wilde.
You're going there.
I'm so sorry. I mix
No.
them up all the time. I was close, but I knew what I was
He
saying.
didn't eat it, Pinks. He was over in the UK in prison. Okay.
You guys knew what I was saying, right?
Yeah, I knew you were going with that.
Josh,
I saw the O coming out.
I thought you were going to say Oscar Welles, and then you just hit Oscar
I'm
Wilde.
sorry. I always get them confused. But yeah, I didn't eat like 44 to 46 hot dogs.
That's way too many hot dogs.
No, 18 chili dogs.
I keep
My
screwing
dad
up.
counted them.
That's incredible. Do you know what year that was?
Let's see. It showed up in a Merv Griffin autobiography. So it was somewhere in the 1950s. And supposedly he was having dinner with Sophia Loren and Merv Griffin
Naturally.
and Jane Mansfield and all of that. And he wasn't eating. And they said, oh my God, finally, Oscar Wilde's got.
You did it too. You
I
did it too.
Orson Welles is on a diet. And then it turns out he lived in the same neighborhood as Merv Griffin, and Merv Griffin was in the car and followed Orson home, and Orson makes a quick left turn into Pink's, and that's where he did it.
Brilliant.
Has anybody mounted a serious challenge to his 17 number? Because I can put him away. I think I could do it.
Do you really think you can do it?
Well, I have to say, because it's you, I probably would say, okay, it is Orson Welles and Josh Shear. But most people that say it, I said, look, no matter how many you eat, and we have competitive eaters that come to Pink's.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, and they're not that heavy. It's
no.
They're thin. I don't know how
They're
they do it. I don't know
champions.
if they're purging or how they're doing it.
They're athletes. Yeah.
Okay, but I say, but it'd always be Orson Welles because it's part of the history of Pink's. That back in the day, people like Howard Hughes and Spencer Tracy and Marlon Brando would come to Pink's and just sit back and just relax and have a hot dog.
Yeah, and that's such an awesome thing to be able to go there and you feel the history. You have all the photos up, and it's such a beautiful sense of place and time that you don't get from a lot of other experiences.
Totally.
It feels very uniquely LA, even in the way that you're not a purist about it. You're not too precious about the fact that, nobody can put ketchup on a hot dog here.
Nope.
The fact that you are open to it is very cool, and it means a lot. I created a couple hot dogs in my own home recently, and I want you to judge what I've done, because I was issued a challenge.
Can I judge too?
You can judge too. I probably told you about these, because I was very excited.
Maybe. Go ahead.
But I had a lovely little date night that was 3 cocktail pairings with 3 hot dogs.
Ooh.
And so I was pairing these hot dogs with a dark and stormy, a Manhattan, and a margarita variation.
Okay.
And so for the dark and stormy, it was very Caribbean. So I did a jerk oxtail marmalade, except I did it to have the same consistency as hot dog chili.
Okay.
So I tried to make it really run like hot dog chili, but it was braised oxtail with jerk spices, a lot of Scotch bonnet pepper, and then I did a little fermented pineapple and scallion relish on top.
Fancy boy.
That was the first one. I
can't believe it.
I didn't think it would work. I don't know. Would you?
Yeah, I would do that.
I would-
I
be-
like
yeah.
that. No, I like that. It's I like the fact it's Caribbean. You got to name it so that you already know what you're getting into.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I would try that. I thought that was
Me too.
brilliant.
It was maybe the best. It might be tough to have somebody braising and pulling oxtails in the kitchen, but if that wants to make its way to Pink's,
Outsource it, whatever.
Well, we don't have a kitchen quite large enough
Exactly.
to even think oxtail, let alone my staff would
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
what? But anyhow,
I had a
love
lot of
that
time- I had a lot of
dog.
time
I love
on my
it. You're
hands.
brilliant.
there was one I was really proud of this other creation. It was very simple. It was a Manhattan. I just went off of the New York name, so I made my own sauerkraut. But what I did,
How long did you ferment your sauerkraut for?
it was like a week. It was a quick quick pickle.
Okay.
I love the flavor of pastrami, but sometimes when you put pastrami on a hot dog, the pastrami meat to me takes away from the actual hot dog a little bit.
Okay.
But I love the flavor. So I thought, what if I put the flavor of pastrami into the sauerkraut? So I added smoked salt to ferment it.
Okay.
And I added a little bit of MSG to give you the meatiness. And I
Okay.
did caraway, black pepper, and coriander. That simple brown mustard hot dog, I'm telling you, out of this world.
It sounds great, I have to say, but pastrami on a hot dog can be
So good.
really good.
So good.
You know,
Especially
even if
the-
you're not tasting the hot dog as much because the pastrami overpowers it. I have a Let's Help Ukraine dog
Oh, very
Okay, which is basically it, and I give all the profits to World Central Kitchen
Beautiful.
to help Ukraine.
Wow.
Very nice.
But it's basically pastrami on a dog with sauerkraut and Swiss cheese. And I love that dog, but I think it's because I love the pastrami.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly lean pastrami, so you really taste it. It's not a lot of fat in it.
Is it the really thinly shaved one?
Yeah.
I love thinly
Yes,
shaved,
yes.
like seared hard on a hot dog is really
Quickly grilled.
Yum.
So it's heated up.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I love what you do. It's just fascinating with sauerkraut and the whole thing. That's great.
Well, my favorite pastrami application does involve hot dogs at Pink's.
Yeah.
It just happens to not be a hot dog in and of itself because
What is it?
it's the 3-dog night. It's called the 3-dog night, right? Or is
You
that?
know about the 3-dog
What's
night?
Oh, I think the
Night?
3-dog night.
What
the
is
3-dog
it?
night is
Tell
a
me
burrito
about
with,
it.
I believe, chili, cheese, pastrami, hot dogs. And there might be onions scattered in
It's
there,
a
but at some
burrito?
point. Oh, Nicole, you've never had
Three
it?
dogs. And
Never
it's wrapped
had
with
it.
a 12-inch tortilla.
12?
Oh, it's
Well, it's like is a hot dog a sandwich and all that. So now we created the burrito, which wraps it.
Great.
So it's basically a wrap.
Fantastic.
And it's just perfect because it blends all the flavors together. The 3-dog night actually started as a Laker three-peat dog. When they won the championship 3 years in a row, I called it the Laker three-peat dog. And then they lost the fourth time, and I had to rename it. So I named it Matrix Reloaded because the Matrix is so crazy. Mythical, Matrix, you know that.
very similarly aligned.
Right, but then it was a 3-dog night. Right.
Wow.
'Cause- Right. You know where the name 3-dog night comes from?
It's a band.
The band. But where they got it from is
Shakespeare.
If you are in a super cold climate like Alaska and you have no heat in the house, you bring in 3 dogs to sleep with you.
Oh
And
my
that's why it's
gosh.
called a 3-dog night, to keep you warm.
I love this
Again-
podcast. I'm learning so much and having a great
Richard,
time.
people could learn the history of the world through the Pink's hot dogs
I was
menu,
gonna
and I
say,
think
yeah.
I mostly have.
It's an anthropological study.
Right. It's very cultural, so.
And we all know a hot dog is a sandwich, you agree. But
Oh, you mean that you want to know
you
what
asking
I really
us?
believe?
what do you believe?
The only way I can answer that is if you came into Pink's and you said to Yolanda behind the counter, Yolanda, I'm going to have a hot dog sandwich. She would then look at Fernanda. She would look at Lou. She would look at Mary Lou. And she'd go,
Oh my God.
they wouldn't know what that is. And they were thinking, do I go out and get a couple of slices of bread, or what? So that it's what people are accustomed to saying. I get the bread. Okay, agreed. But it's how you communicate culturally.
Yeah.
But if I were to order a hot dog burrito, they'd know what that means.
Well, because it's on
Heck
the
yeah.
menu. But until then, I don't think they would have. We created that whole concept. Right.
You heard it here first, folks. A hot dog is a burrito, and that's a wrap.
What's the best hot dog to buy? The Sport Crew has conducted multiple taste tests, including one with Josh, to find the answer. Check out their ranking on spork.com. I've spent a long time thinking about going to therapy. I spent hours just really debating if I even wanted to take the plunge. But when I finally did, and I did my sessions, it ended up completely lifting this weight off of my shoulders. It was incredible to have someone to talk to and just really wanted me to be better.
I also spent a lot of time thinking about doing therapy, but it was never whether or not I wanted to do it. It was I cannot figure out how to navigate all of the medical insurance and navigate all these websites. And is this actually a good therapist? I had no idea. And so I actually signed up for BetterHelp, and I had a great experience getting matched with a therapist because it's just a freaking app, baby. You just clicky buttons until you're matched with a therapist. And so literally the first thing that got me to actually speak to a therapist was BetterHelp and how easy it was. And I had a great experience with my guy. I'm talking about childhood traumas instead of dumping them all on Nicole and our podcast listeners.
Yeah, it's great. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
All right, if you still want me to dump all my childhood traumas on you, I
little
will,
bit, a little
Nicole. You just have to fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/hotdog to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hotdog. Pretty funny entering code hotdog into a therapy app, though. We got to admit, that is funny. You should do it. All right, Nicole and Richard, we've heard what you and I have to say. Now it's time to find out what other wacky ideas are rattling out there in the universe. It's time for a segment we call Opinions Are Like Casseroles. I smell like chili, which is how I want to be during every podcast from here on out. That was such a soul-nourishing dog.
It was really good.
Ready to get into the first opinion?
Yeah,
Maggie, fire it up.
obviously.
Hey, Josh, Nicole, and Maggie. I'm a huge fan of your podcast.
Maggie.
I've been listening since the beginning. I want to tell you about a strange hot dog that I had one time. There's this gourmet hot dog place here in Ohio, here in Canton, that will let you customize your hot dog full of all sorts of fun goodies. And I was hanging out with one of my friends one time, and she orders this hot dog with dill relish,
Okay.
crushed potato chips, kimchi, and peanut butter. Now, I thought that was about the weirdest thing that I had ever heard, and frankly, I was very vehemently opposed to trying it. And she made me try it, and it was surprisingly good. All of those flavors actually melded together pretty well. Let me know what you guys think.
Dill relish, kimchi, peanut butter, and crushed potato chips?
Yeah.
Richard, you ever see anything like that?
Never. I'm just putting my mouth through it right now, and I'm wondering how many bites I would take before I said enough.
How many do you think?
I'm going with 3.
3? That's
3
enough to give it a
bites, and then
chance.
I'm done.
I would ex-nay the relish, and I think I would eat it.
Just kimchi, peanut butter, and potato chips.
Yeah, I would do it. Would I have to be under some substances? Possibly. But it doesn't sound horrible to me. The relish, I would just get it out of there.
Have you ever had peanut butter on a hot dog?
No. Well, actually, I have, and it didn't work. You know, I mean, they do cream cheese on a hot dog. I'm trying to figure out what makes that hot dog as good as what this listener talked about. Was it the peanut butter? Was it the crunch of the potato chips? What is it that worked?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, pickles and peanut butter. Pickles and peanut butter.
It's a pregnancy craving.
It's a pregnancy craving, and it's also good. Listen, I have the same taste buds as a pregnant woman. You know, we have the
Okay,
same
gotta get your hormones
rush
checked,
of
boo.
hormones coursing through us. But no, pickles and peanut butter makes a lot of sense. It's creamy, fatty, crunchy acid. That makes
Okay.
sense, right?
Sure.
And peanut butter is not inherently sweet. It's mostly inherently salty. Some have added sugar, but you know, to me, that makes sense. Kimchi. Then you're getting into that little sulfuric funk, that little umami, and then potato chips for some texture. There's a lot of South American hot dogs that do the crushed potato chip on it or the little potato
That's
sticks.
right. Those are good.
Like the Venezuelan
They're good.
completo.
They're good.
Love those.
Yeah, but to me, you would have to make a sauce out of the peanut butter. You know, to me, it's the texture of peanut butter that sticks to the roof of your mouth that's tripping me up.
I'm trying to picture the peanut butter, the Thai flavor of
That's what I'm
peanut
thinking.
butter, the Korean flavor of garlicky of the kimchi. I guess we got to try that.
I know, right?
I mean, really, it's so unique.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Someone
could come up with that.
I have one more soft pitch. Okay, I love hot dog chili, and I love taking flavors and that I love from around the world and putting it into that, as you heard with the oxtail.
Yeah.
There is a West African stew called mafe. I have a lot of cousins from Senegal, and I always talk about this dish because
too.
it's beautiful, but it's a very savory peanut butter-based stew. And so you add the peanut butter with beef, onions, tomatoes, Scotch bonnet chili, some like beef broth, and you cook it down for a long time, and it's just savory and peanut buttery. If you were to make that and use that like a hot dog chili,
I'm not opposed to it. That sounds good.
we got to make it.
Sounds really good.
I love the ingenuity, though.
Yeah, I do too.
Hello, this is Xavier from California. I had an opinion here. Hot dog buns are absolutely terrible. I don't know why anyone would put their hot dog in that. What you got to do is, first of all, hot dogs are whatever unless they're wrapped in bacon. But you got to get a hot link, put them in a tortilla with a crazy amount of mustard, and that's how you eat a hot dog or a hot link. That's all I have to say.
Hot dog buns are overrated. Those are fighting words right there.
Well, he hasn't had a good hot dog bun, I think, the soft, cushiony sort of taste of a great bun that's just warmed perfectly. I mean, could be eaten separately, but listen, I'm all about putting it in a tortilla. I mean, I think that's great. It's the texture of that tortilla when you pull it apart. It's just wonderful, and it allows the dog and the toppings to all blend and merge together. It's a wonderful idea, but I think that a great hot dog bun is just delicious.
Me too. I think it's just a good bread.
Right.
I like it. It's a good bread.
I mean, the hot dog only exists because of the bun. Not to get into like philosophy here,
you
but
sure?
there's all the the myths about how the hot dog was created with the white gloves at the World's Fair, and he didn't want people getting their hands dirty, and he was out of gloves, so he had an Austrian baker bake him some fresh buns, and likely none of that is true because you see a lot of articles from the 1800s that are talking about hot dogs on Coney Island being served inside, rolls or buns that were specially made for them. So like that's kind of the very American ingenuity of it, right? Because, Wiener means from Vienna. And then Frankfurter is from Frankfurt. These are very European things coming to America. But we love eating standing up and on the go.
Always.
So that to me, the hot dog bun, like that is the hot dog that is America. I'm all patriotic about this.
God bless America.
What are other, because there's other kinds of hot dog buns. Like there's the split top roll that you'll get like a lobster roll in. Some people
Love
serve it in
split
there.
tops.
Do you ever mess around with other styles of hot dog bun?
I've tried. It just hasn't. The chili is what really has to work with it,
Yeah.
and you can't have it so tough. I mean, like a baguette.
Yeah.
Then you're just eating the crust, and you're not eating the hot dog.
Yeah, the chew of a
so-
baguette wouldn't work.
I've tried brioche. I think brioche buns are great if you don't do the chili. It's just because it's sweet.
Yeah.
And but this idea of going, away from the bun entirely, I think you kind of miss the point of the hot dog. It's just such a fun food. It's a finger food. It's just fun to eat. So there's an experience in eating a hot dog on a bun, not just the taste, but the experience of it. Whether you hold it in one hand or two hands or you walk with it. Yeah.
I don't know if you know about this recipe in our cookbook, actually. I don't think we've talked about this, and sometimes I forget it's there, but it's really delicious. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I don't right now.
We've called it the hot dog sandwich because it's effectively a panini where that has hot dogs shingled across it with bacon, peppers, onions, and I think provolone cheese to bind it all together like a panini. And then we put ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, and jalapenos on it.
Sounds good.
So it's like an homage to the LA street dog. But that's a proper hot dog sandwich, and it's good. It's on griddled sourdough bread. It's not a hot dog,
That's not
but
a
it's
problem.
a delicious sandwich.
So do you eat it with a knife and fork, or can you eat it with your hands?
Oh, I can eat anything with my hands.
Okay.
I can eat a bowl of soup with my hands if I really want to.
Okay. I get that.
Okay.
It's a little messy, but it is really good.
Right.
But yeah, hot dog buns, you can't
I
beat
like
them.
'em.
You can't beat them.
I love them.
Well, I'm curious. Some people use the King's Hawaiian slider rolls as hot dog buns. They'll
The
slice
small
through
ones?
them. Yeah, they'll keep 3 together and then slice through them and use
Oh,
those as
that's
hot
such a
dog
good
buns.
idea.
And you put a pineapple on the dog.
Heck
That's
yeah.
perfect. We serve it like that in Hawaii.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good
my
idea.
God.
I've never had a hot dog in between Hawaiian rolls, but I want to, like right now.
Right. And you either
smelly.
cut up the pineapple or, just half a slice. It's so good. It's so tasty. It's perfect sweetness. It's like candy.
Oh, I got to get my hands on
Sounds good.
King's Hawaiian, great local company.
Yeah, we love King's Hawaiian. Last question or opinion.
Hey, it's Kelsey from Austin, Texas. Love the show. Love you guys. It's breakfast time here.
Oh.
And instead of having, actual breakfast food, I made a sandwich with QP mayo, roast beef, cheese, sour cream and onion chips on a hot dog bun. It was delicious.
Yum.
Let's normalize lunch and dinner for breakfast and not just breakfast for lunch or dinner. Thanks. Love you. Bye.
So we talked about hot dogs being served in non-hot dog buns. Now we're talking about non-hot dog things being served in hot dog buns.
I grew up using hot dog buns as bread. Everybody does that because there's not an equal amount of hot dogs in the little vac sealed container and in the bag of bread. They're unequal. They don't make sense. So you have like 2 leftover hot dog buns. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna fill it up with Nutella and eat it for breakfast. I'm gonna fill up my eggs with it, and I'm just gonna walk around and eat it that way. And you know what? There's no problem doing that. It's the way you have to do it. You have to make do as a person on earth in this society. You have to make do. And you know what? I'm always gonna make do because I love hot dog bread and I'll put anything in it.
Richard, I know at Pink's you're getting everything in wholesale, you're getting it in bulk, but as the de facto king of hot dogs, I need you to lobby Congress to get hot dog buns and hot dogs to be sold in the same quantity.
Yes.
Because it's what? It's six hot dogs in a standard pack and then 8 buns in a standard pack.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Somebody's got to change it.
And
Richard,
what do
you have the power.
We have to multiply 8 by 6. What is that? 42? Is that right?
48.
Sorry, my math is really
Oscar
bad.
Wilde.
Who needs to buy 48? Unless you got a business or a cookout. It's ridiculous. Sorry, I got really passionate about that.
Bun people are not the easiest to deal with. Okay?
Absolutely.
I mean, I struggle to get a 7-inch bun because most of them are made 6, and my dog just hangs out too far off the end of the 6-inch bun.
That's fine.
But these buns are made in a certain quantity, and they can't really scale back. So I don't know. I think you're going to have to come to Pink's and just buy like a dozen buns from me and just go home and there you go. Okay.
Are your buns made specifically for Pink's?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
But you will just sell people the buns because I've run into restaurants that won't do that if they're...
Josh, because you are such a gourmet, I would love to have my buns in your kitchen. All right?
I will gladly take your buns. Also, you have just let me work the line at Pink's before, so I
That's
had a
true.
great time.
You're great. People loved you. Right.
I was moving it fast. I was yelling at him though. I was very mean, ill-tempered employee. I hope I didn't lose you too much business.
No surprises. Sorry.
Richard, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
This was just so
Thank
great.
you so much.
Being surrounded by such talent, such knowledge.
Thanks.
You guys are just a credit to the restaurant and the food industry.
Thank you.
You're both so good. It's such an honor to be with you.
Oh, thank you so much.
As somebody who was just name dropping Martha Stewart, Emerald Lagasse, and Giada De Laurentiis, that means the world to us. Richard,
That's
thank
right.
you so much.
You're right there. You guys are true celebrities of the food industry.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all for listening to A Hot Dog is a Sandwich. We got new audio-only episodes every Wednesday and a video version here on Sundays.
And if you want to be featured on Opinions or Casseroles, hit us up at 833-DOG-POD1. Our number again is 833-DOG-POD1.
And everyone make sure to go check out Pink's. Eat the Mythical Muncher Dog. Try every single hot dog on the menu because that's what I'm doing next.